Okay, so that's quite fun. Let's do a few more of those. Let's do more animations to animate, do a bit more animating on this fish. Okay, so let's try this again. Also notice when if you click on the timeline, it's automatically going to go into recording mode, which is quite nice. The next thing I want to do is I want to animate the eye and the eyebrow of this fish. So let's see. I'm going to do add curve, eye, and I'm going to do the position of the eye. And here I'm simply going to move the eye to the back a bit when he's swimming, and maybe somewhere here. Actually, all I want to do is I just want the position of the eye to change, not everything else. So I'm just adding a few more keyframes for the eye to animate. Right, so you can see that now I have 5 keys for the eye, and it's going to basically it's going from one position to the other, and it's looping that animation. By the way, swim animation, you can see that loop time. This is how you decide if you want the animation to loop, and oftentimes we do. So that's good. Okay, so I have the eye position. I also want to animate the rotation of the eye, just for fun, right? So that's the rotation. I think maybe somewhere here. Actually, I'm going to move that there. Right. Some random animations, but you kind of get the idea what we're doing here, just to make the fish look a bit more interesting, right? We want it to come alive. Okay, next let's do the eyebrow, shall we? Again, actually this time let's use the recording directly again. So I'm just gonna go, okay, the initial position is gonna be there. Halfway through I want the eyebrow to be here, rotate it that way, and towards the end I want the eyebrow to, now this is where I'm just going to copy and paste the rotation and the position of the eyebrow and paste it there, so I have the exact same copy, so they are back where they should be. Right, and then what I want to do now is I'm going to click and select all keyframes here, and I'm going to flat them, and just going to make them flat so all the animations are smooth. Okay, looks a bit funny, but that's okay. And finally, I want to animate the transform of the main parent object. So I can just do position of the transform. Okay, so I might move this down a little bit. So when it's moving, you can see that, well, let's get out of the record mode. Okay, so that's good. That's, you can see that that's starting to look like it's swimming. I have some animation there. Now, before we finish with animations, I wanted to just show you one thing that's pretty cool. Something you can do because Unity is originally a 3D engine. So I'm going to animate the tail, but I'm going to animate it in the 3D space. Right. You can see this tail here. I'm going to rotate. I want it to rotate this way. So that's the animation I want to use. Okay, so same thing. Add curve, tail, rotation. Right. So now we have the beginning rotation, which is 0, and the end rotation, which is also 0. But in, let's say here, I wanted to, oops, what did I do? Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so we have the tail here. Let's add a keyframe. Okay, to the tail. So I just double click on the part that I wanted to animate. And I'm simply going to change that a little bit. Let's do negative 55. And then again down here, I'm going to do 55. Might be a bit much. Let's just do 35. And here we'll do negative 35. Okay, so when we play this, you see that the animation is being played in a 3D space. So we're animating the tail sort of inside into the on the z-axis. Basically, we're rotating on y, and when you go to the 2D view, you can see that it's being rotated, but on a different axis, right? So it's being rotated in 3D space instead of the 2D space. Having some of these 3D elements in the engine where you can combine the two, right? So I think it's pretty cool. And now we have a fish that's been animated in 2D space, right? So great, this is what we wanted to do first, simply animating a simple 2D image, and you can do the animations inside Unity. I'm sure you guys can do a much better job than I have done here. He looks kind of funny, but that's the idea. That's how you animate and use a 2D image and to start making a 2D game in Unity.